Hello, hello.
Hey.
All right. First up, we have Nicole Ellison, a top producing agent out of the Houston, Texas market, the co-founder of Diamond Alliance Group, a powerful revenue share organization with EXP and HGTV House Hunters alum. She lives by the mantra, consistency compounds, and that's what creates long-term results. Next, from Atlanta, we got Michael Nolan, an 18-year-old Atlanta-based realtor, the founder of Michael Nolan and Associates, and just shy of celebrating his 1 year anniversary at EXP.
Congratulations.
He's a certified mentor, international investor, express offers guru, revenues, relocation certified agent, EXP luxury agent, and a specialist in expires and foreclosures listings. He's only 4 deals away from Icon this year, y'all.
Okay.
His mantra, peace and progress. Our third panelist, Makeba Evans. She's a global realtor and the founder of the We Are Paid Collective. That's phenomenal agents influencing disruption. She's the creator of Smile Down for a While, a power hour session helping agents grow their business through authentic client cultivation. Her motto says it all: consistency flows where community grows. And last but not definitely least, Future Davis. She's the broker and team lead of the Elevated Collective, a mega icon team with EXP Realty in Metro Detroit. She's closed over $150 million in sales, co-hosts the Soul Sisters podcast, and leads a team of 20 plus agents. She also hosts the Wealth and Win Summit and created the Agent Elevation Network. She's grounded in faith and guided by Proverbs 6:10. A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come upon you like a robber. Okay. All right, give everybody a hand. So we're just gonna go down the line and just ask a bunch of questions. These questions are gonna be useful. So the first one, what's one part of your morning routine you never skip, no matter how busy things get?
Prospecting. So first thing in the morning, I'm going to knock that prospecting out. That's the first thing I'm going to do. You never want to put it at the end of the day or the middle of the day because you're going to get busy, things are going to come up, and then what are you going to say? Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. And then it's going to keep on being pushed to the next day. So first thing in the morning, get your prospecting done. Make sure it is time blocks in your calendar and it is non-negotiable. Work everything around prospecting.
For me, it's my time with God first, and then I lead gen. So I do lead gen for about 3 hours straight, 45-minute increments. But I make sure that I'm always making calls. I'm intentional with lead generation, especially with expired to pre-foreclosures, because that's the nuts of my
You don't have to share the mic with me today, Michael. Definitely client cultivation, which of course the term that we're used to is prospecting. You know, making sure that we're reaching out to those people, whether they're clients we've met or clients we have not met yet. Putting that on the schedule, again, that heavy lift in the morning, taking a break like Michael mentioned, Smile Dial, which is the power hour that I have created, is very important and powerful for people to plug in, to be in a community of other like-minded individuals where we're looking on the Zoom squares. You know, we're so used to that, but you can look over to the left or the right, wherever your screen is, and see people celebrating and definitely sharing their wins. So client cultivation is something that I make sure I do daily.
Like Michael, mine is prayer. You have to take some time out in this industry for yourself, because if you do not, we have a lot of highs, but we have even more lows. You want to make sure that you have your mind right and you are centered. So when you are having those bumps in the road, you don't get distraught and want to run up on your business, because it will make you feel like that sometimes. And just having my schedule together. So before anything, for me, I have to make sure that my schedule is together. You have to make sure that you are very specific with how you schedule out your time, so you can make sure you are very intentional.
All right, nice, good stuff. I know for me, I have to plan in the evening, so I can have a good morning routine. So next question, when life feels chaotic or you're in a slump, what helps you mentally reset and refocus?
So remembering why I started, revisiting my goals, and just even looking back and seeing how far I've come And so revisiting those goals and listening to something inspirational, motivational, and just doing at least something that's going to keep me moving forward for that day and getting that motivation back.
For me, it's unplugging. So whenever I'm feeling
I would
like
just hand it back to you.
I unplug and take a walk, I reset, and then I go back and start doing things. So I make sure to look at my schedule, but I also make sure that I take time to do motivational videos, listening to Aunt Milet. A lot of those things, like recently, Oprah Winfrey has an amazing podcast that I listen to every day, and I actually send it out to my friends. So it helps me out a lot. It keeps me grounded, and that allows me to move through my day and move through chaos.
Yeah, definitely plugging in some capacity for sure. I honestly like to cut on some good music anywhere, in the car, if I'm in the kitchen, wherever I happen to be at that moment, and release whatever frustration, rebuild, the energy that I need to continue to carry on. I'm the only child traditionally, my mother. I'm the matriarch of my family, so 6 sons and 5 grandsons. So just keeping them in the forefront of what it is that I'm doing to build our legacy as the tribe called Cabe.
Mine is just understanding that the work works. Just understanding that the work works. So when I feel when things are getting a little chaotic, I know that if I'm doing my part, everything will be okay. Nothing works but the work. You can't tell me, like, everybody in this space knows, if you are doing something, even if it doesn't turn into immediate gratification or a deal right then and there, eventually you're going to get what you're looking for.
All right, nice. That's beautiful. Do you believe success starts with mindset or action, and how do you personally balance the two?
Mindset is first. If you believe you can, you're right. And if you believe you can't, you're right. So success definitely starts with the mindset, making sure you believe, and you feel like with conviction that you're already successful. Like, it's already there. And so that mindset is strong, and making sure you believe that, you're successful already.
I would say 100% mindset, but also you need action to push everything forward. So if you're not using the action behind it, you're just sitting still. So 100% action mindset in order to push your goals forward.
Yeah, definitely mindset of course, putting ourselves in a space on a daily basis whenever we need to regroup or recharge. And as we are on a journey of not to do this alone, sharing your energy with others to help support you in your endeavor, because community is very important and a vital part of what humans need in the space that we're in, coming together like we are here, getting up early in the morning to get our mindset jump started, and making sure that we continue to plug in to make sure that success is the next step of whatever layer or level of what that looks like for us. Because some of us, mentors, production, agent attraction, believing what our vision is so that we can share that energy out in the world and be successful.
I think mindset is very important. It's something about taking action, though, that will help you stay on the right track. A lot of times we lack confidence because we have let ourselves down so much. And if you get into action and you start to execute on those goals, it will give you the confidence to continue on.
Nice, I like that. Sometimes just when you do it, you realize you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So, we're going to start talking about systems, structures, and scaling. So, what's one system or process that completely changed the way you run your business?
So setting up automations with all of my tech tools. So, a lead comes in, it goes into my CRM, it gets set up in Real Scout, and these automations are automatically set up. So my buyers will get listing emails to them. My sellers will get home valuation reports, automated happy birthday texts, and home anniversary texts. And so just having those automated, campaigns, just working that way. I don't have to do it. This is it's working on its own. So that would say, to me, that's been a game changer with my business.
For me, it's coming over to EXP and utilizing express offers and funnels. So that helped me out tremendously because it allows my VA to set up funnels in order to, with express offers, in order to get sellers
Yes.
to actually
The
list
truth.
homes. So I use funnels as a way to get buyers and or sellers, but with express offers, I have a different funnel set up in order to let them know that I can get them a cash offer within 72 hours, so it allows me to get more listings.
For sure, definitely. Of course, what these two have shared, being able to use the tech stack and those systems and tools that are available with EXP, but picking up the heavy phone. For some reason, for many of us, the phone weighs so much, and being able to be the one to change the energy for somebody who hopefully we're calling to be a resource for them, or not saying, gimme, 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 when you're reaching out to your sphere, those people who already know, like, love, and trust you. But being a spot for them to know that if there's a question that I have in the real estate world, I can look to you in social media, or I know that you're going to call me, I can text you, call me, beat me if you want to reach me. That is definitely a space to, in Smile Dial, which is the power hour that I have, a lot of us, we get people to come into the room and they're just listening for a while. This is definitely something that you have to participate in, and watching the new agents come into the room, or the people who they are looking to amplify their businesses in other ways. Like, they may already have that success in their sphere, or some people don't even want to lean on their sphere at all. But just to come in the room and see other people having success at something else that they haven't tried before, and finally they go ahead and jump in. I mean, it's kind of like double dutch. When you picking up the phones, I see that it works. Let's do the scripting and the role playing. Michael has been on Smile Dial a few times, so making sure that we're picking up the phone. Chantrell speaks about it all the time. Like, we know that our database is our data bank, and automations, of course, are going to help that work and flow as we're making that move once we've plugged in. But we have to pick up the phone and let them know I'm real, I'm here, and I'm here to help you.
That was good. That was good. Picking up that phone. Yeah, everybody, pick up that phone. Well, Sisu. So I have a team. I have a team of 38 agents now. I had to figure out how to keep everybody within that space accountable and motivated. And Sisu, EXP gives us Sisu. Of course, I have to pay for a little extras, but nevertheless, it is a way for you to track your progress. You literally can put your goals in there, and it will break it down to how many conversations you need to have, how many touches you need to have for you to execute on your goal. So that has helped me as a team lead, because I can go in and say, hey, you were supposed to have X amount of conversations this week, and I can see right there where they are. I use Follow Up Boss. I'm able to integrate Follow Up Boss. I use Mojo Dialer. Where they use Mojo Dialer, I have that integrated, so I can literally see in real time if they are picking up that phone.
Yeah, Sisu's a game changer. I mean, it lays it out there for you. You know what you need to do. So, when you've been doing the work and business starts getting busy and scaling, how do you protect your time and energy?
So protecting my time and energy, so leverage. I had to learn to leverage, because I got very busy, got very overwhelmed, and so I hired a virtual assistant. I have a transaction coordinator, so all the tasks that I could pass on to somebody else that I don't have to physically do, that's what I pass on. I wrote down a list of everything I do every day, and I passed on those tasks to my VA and transaction coordinator. So definitely leveraging people.
I have to piggyback on what she said as well. Leveraging for me is amazing. So I rely heavily on my VA. My VA does all of my social media, does all of my calls. Again, creates performance for me, so it allows me to step back and put my hands into other things that I need to. And then also, when it's chaotic like that, it allows me to have time to myself to kind of reset in order to get things going forward.
Protecting my time, of course, we all have heard about the sign that we should have on our door to turn around and let people know, hey, this is what I am in here doing at this moment in time. Do not disturb me. I'm an empty nester at this moment in my life after raising the children. So I guess the only thing that I need to tell not to disturb me, the dogs and and they don't read. But the party that I have created is Smile Dial, honestly. And I created it for myself to hold myself accountable, protect my time. And I open the doors to people to come and join me. I'm thankful Terrence from Express Offers. He actually comes in Tuesdays with Terrence, 8:30 to 9 Eastern Standard Time, where we script and role play. I have fortunately been featured on YouTube. Corporate, they've put me there, and Smile Dial is actually a resource in Faster Track, for people to come in and protect their time as well, because client cultivation is important as we're picking up that heavy phone. And actually, when we're in the room, we are working in and on our businesses. Some people are doing social media, some people are doing admin work, whatever is necessary in that moment in time for yourself and your business. You're able to see people there, that a virtual water cooler or bullpen of sorts, because we work in a space where WFA is power, work from anywhere.
I'm still trying to get control over my time. I'm not gonna lie. I love my business. I'm blessed to love my business. So there is no work-life balance for me. So much so, my daughter graduated from high school and she's a full-time agent. My husband is a dual agent because everybody knew that they needed to come into my work. No. But yeah, it's a little.
If I want to see you, yes.
Some stuff in real estate. But as far as trying to keep everything rolling smoothly and not being chaotic, leverage, like they said. I have an operations manager. I have a couple VAs. I have an assistant, and I've also I had to open my mind to asking the agents that work with me for help. I have a young lady on my team named Kai. She runs Power Hour for me. I have ambassadors on my team now who have different roles within the organization to help out. That was scary for me because I assume, and we all will assume, they're already selling real estate. They don't want to do anything else. But the people who work with you, they care about you, so they want to help you. So that has been big for me.
Delegating responsibility.
Yeah.
They care about you enough to come join you in
your
your business.
you've automated or delegated that gave you real freedom back.
Yeah, so admin tasks, social media, reverse prospecting, calendar management. My VA does everything that I don't need to do. So sending texts, emails, responding to emails, just a lot of those admin tasks that someone else can handle for me. Also putting out signs and Supras and picking them up. I have a company that does that, and that's definitely a game changer.
I feel like I'm repeating everything she said. Hiring a VA is the best thing you can ever do. They're pretty inexpensive, but they do a whole lot from a far distance. So just like her, I allow my VA I actually let my VA have free range, but I manage it, meaning that he does all of my social media. Everybody thinks I'm great at social media. I know nothing about social media. He knows how to do social media amazing. Funnels, he's taught me how to do funnels. So responding to emails, he sends out messages to investors that are looking at my properties. He's learned how to do contracts. I mean, everything that I could possibly ask for, he can do it. So being able to leverage all of that stuff out will help you build your business up quicker and allows you more free time. So
Yeah, if I want something from Michael, I just hit his VA up. So we have their information, of course, as well, what they have shared, amplifying on that and taking it to another level as we are looking to collapse time, getting something else to do, something else to help leverage our careers. This AI agent, I am definitely going to plug in to it for sure to get the prompts together and go to whatever resource that we're choosing to do. I am figuring out a method to free myself up when it comes to those different tasks that are not money-making activity, that I can go push a prompt and have it create those things necessary to make sure that I am able to do the things that make money for myself and my business.
I've heard, each of us have VAs, and I know you've all heard us say something about a VA. If you're looking to hire a VA, you can go on Upwork. So you can use Upwork as a resource, be very specific about what you're looking for, and that is a way for you to hire a VA. It's another site, I think it's called
Fiverr?
Fiverr is a good one, but I was thinking VA Hub. But Upwork is a great one. I've hired some of my best VAs from Upwork. My operations manager has helped me. I have one-on-ones today because I'm very, very big on keeping a beat on what's going on in my business. and I'm here talking to you guys, and I know that my business is still rolling. I've been gone all week, and I know my business is still rolling. We onboarded 4 new agents since I've been at EXPCON because my business is still rolling because of my operations manager. I give her hell, but she's great to me.
Nice. One of the questions, how do you vet the VAs? Because I hear a lot of stories of VA bad stories where they just didn't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
So networking, I was an agent that I actually met at EXPCON, and they told me about their VA, the company that they hired them through, and so I just went through there. So more like a referral, asking other agents who they use.
I actually used it's a agent with another brokerage. She has a VA firm, and I can get you all the information. She sets up the interviews, and then you basically interview the person, see if you all are a match, ask the questions that you want to ask that you want your VA to do, and then if they're a match, then you can hire them. So she charges $1,500, but then after that, you pay that VA individually every week or every 2 weeks, how you want to pay.
Yeah, I think Michael should share that information with everyone. Because that is definitely something that takes a lot of time, training someone else to be an extension of you. So I've trained a few VAs and have broken up with a few VAs. So right now I'm VA-less.
Couple things. Okay, so when you hire a VA, you have to be prepared to train a VA, and you have to have the mindset that anybody that you hire within your business, they're temporary until they can meet that 90-day mark. So that first 30 days, and if you can get over that first 30 days, that's 60 days, and then that 90-day mark. Give yourself the 3 months to train the VA, because if you take your time and you train your VA appropriately, you'll have that virtual assistant for a lifetime. I'm guilty of this. When I hired my first VA, I'm like, do this, do that. And they're not doing it correctly, and I'm pissed. Like, I told you what to do. It's like, they don't know what they're doing. It's just like when you started selling real estate, you didn't know what you were doing until you caught a rhythm. So be prepared for that. You can go the route that Michael went. Other agents go that route all the time. Something unique that I've found since I've been in this space for a while, now you can go on like an Upwork and you can find a VA. So like my transaction coordinator, she was already familiar with like Scotty Slope and different things like that because she's already been in the business. So when I put my job listing up or my ad up, I had very specific things in there like, do you know how to use SkySlope? Have you ever worked with real estate agents? Have you worked with an EXP agent? And she had done all of that in another state, so that was very beneficial to me. Yeah, just take your time and be prepared to train.
You said about the 90 days. Will you, like, after the 90 days, after training this person, taking all that time, do you do, like, a contract for a year or something like that?
You're gonna know within that 30 days if a person makes sense to you or not. Because that's why you're breaking it down into 30-day increments. You're gonna know within that first 30 days, like, because people are people everywhere. So I've had VAs that every week she was taking her son to the doctor. It was crazy. Or it was a car accident. It was so strange. I'm like, oh, people lazy
a
everywhere.
Storm. Yeah.
And I'm like, it really surprised me. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. But you will save some money, but it does take time. But 30-day increments, and just be very specific. If you are hiring out of the country, ask them to send you a video so you can hear the way they speak and how they communicate, and then that'll let you know if you need to even interview them or not. So just take your time with it.
Yeah.
You must keep your VA busy. If you do not, they will go other places.
Yeah.
So you always have to make sure you have things on their plate and also making sure that they're learning. So as you're taking classes, make them take a class with you so that you all can work together. Because you want them to be the offset of you and do the stuff that you would normally do. So you have to give them those tasks to do. Like my VA is taking John Lee's class with me at the end of October. That's because I want him to know how to do everything so he can kind of teach me. But I think you all should take your classes together.
I'm gonna say one more thing. Create a budget for your VA. So if you don't have a lot of money, a lot of times we feel like we don't have the money to scale, especially like if you are having a rough patch in your business or things are slow. You can find a VA that will work pretty well, especially if they are hungry, for $3 an hour. You just have to take the time and be specific with how you hire and the way that you communicate what you are looking for.
Good stuff. That's a lot of valuable information. When business slows down or motivation fades, what keeps you consistent?
Just understanding that consistency compounds. So not stopping, the money-making activities, keep doing those money-making activities, and even though it might not feel like it at that time, that consistency compounds, and the business will start going, that momentum will start picking up again. So just not stopping, keep, doing those money-making activities.
For me, it's my why, my family, making sure that my future, and just making sure that I just show up. Because even when you don't feel like showing up, just show up. Because one day it's not going to be a good day, but if you show up, something could happen. And just making sure that you keep your mindset at peace. And if you keep your mindset at peace and always think about production and moving forward, you'll go a long way.
Yeah, the power in being able to pivot, having different layers or levels to make the connections for your success, whether you're mentoring or you have a coaching program, if you're putting all of your eggs in one basket, it tends to dry up. So if you have other things to keep you motivated and focused, and if you have to spend some more time over here because you see that this isn't reaping the benefit of the reward that you're looking to have in that moment in time, then knowing that you can come over and make some adjustments to what it is that you're doing to be able to bring the resources and the coins into the household.
I have an understanding that the people around me are going to rise and fall to the level of my professionalism and where I am emotionally. Of course, I'm not a robot, so I have my days, but I understand that I am leading the culture within my space. So even when things feel a little wild, that keeps me motivated, because I'm not just responsible for I don't feel like I'm just responsible for my business, but I'm responsible in some ways for the success of the people around me. And I spend a lot of money, so I know I have to get up and go to work. I enjoy spending money, and I don't want to have to stop. So I have to go to work.
Regardless, we got to keep up that lifestyle. What's the time you faced real adversity, and how did you push through?
When those times when the phone's not ringing, nobody's calling you, and you're like, oh, I don't have any closings planned for the next month, and so when those times come, though, back again to just the consistency and not giving up, but also that mindset where, visualizing what the outcome I want it to be, and knowing, feeling, and believing that, it's already done. And so that mindset is, very big for me. So the mindset, and then just being consistent and still doing those activities.
So for me, like 7 months ago, I had brain surgery, and I had to rely on people. For me, I've always... Sorry, can you hear me now? So 7 months ago, I had brain surgery, and I realized at that time a lot of things. One, I needed to slow down, and God has a way of showing you that you need to slow down.
Yeah.
But then also, I knew that I had to start relying on people. So I have to say that my village, my mother, my family, my partner, my friends, they all stepped up to show me that they were there for me, even with my business. So one thing I was scared of was if I tell my clients that I had brain surgery, they're probably going to leave me. So I did tell one, that particular client did go with another person. So I realized that I had to keep that quiet. I let my VA do most of my work, and I relied on my friends and my village to do the rest. But that taught me that coming out of that, I came out like a beast. I ended up with like 10 listings as soon as I got out of it, and I just kept going and kept pushing forward. So I never stopped. So that's how.
You good.
Oh, you okay? Cool. Something this year. So this year I decided to start growing on my team. I had the same 12 people for the last 2 years. My team is 3 years old. And when I started growing on my team, I started scaling. I started hiring. Never really wanted a team. Was fine being a solo agent. Made great money being a solo agent, but had more business than I could actually service on my own. So here we are with the team. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it all out. I had to get my mind right for that. Once I decided to grow my team, I started spending more money. And I had to understand, I started getting some coaching because I was spending more money. That cost more money, but that has served me because I understand, like, you see a lot of people have teams, but they're not profitable. A lot of people have teams and they're not making money. You have to make sure that you are doing what's necessary to be profitable. And that was a time for me where there was some adversity, because when you put in a bunch of work and you're doing a lot for others around you, and you are getting agents into production and you're not making the money that you feel like you should be making, it could be easy for people. That's why a lot of people give up and say, well, you know, I'm going to take a step back from this team and I'm going to go back solo, because that's irritating. So being able to regroup has helped me. I feel good about where I am now, but that was a sore spot for me once I realized, like, okay, I'm spending this money. I need to make sure that I'm not overspending. Just being a responsible adult, having a budget.
So building upon what Michael mentioned as well, you know, community, having your people in your corner to support you, you know, even not having specifically to let them know exactly what the issue is, but for your energy to connect in a way for them to know, hey, my sister or my brother needs me in that manner. Michael and I, fortunately, are a part of the Wealthy group, you know, at the helm of Terry Marie and Calvin Gleaton, and we just feel like they got us. You know, I'm the only child, again, I keep saying that. My mother is the only child too, so being creative in a space and feeling alone, because I was over there in the corner playing with the dog by myself and, you know, had imaginary friends, you know, so not wanting to open up enough to share myself with other people and let them in. And there is power in letting people in, even if it's just for them to listen, you know, not necessarily for them to give you any energy back, and being vulnerable enough to know that I'm not alone. See, if I was comfortable enough for y'all, I would start singing Michael Jackson song for y'all right now. But I'm not going to do it to you. I'm not. I was going to sing You Are Not Alone. See?
So one thing I hear about adversity, kind of shows you who is your people, and what it looks like on the other side of it is a beautiful thing. So what would you tell an agent right now who feels like they're doing everything right but not seeing results?
Don't stop.
Yeah.
One thing, when I
Another Michael Jackson song.
first started, I started cold calling, and I cold called for 3 months with no appointments, nothing. But every morning I got up and did it for 2 hours straight, and I could have stopped, like, oh, this doesn't work, I'm not doing it, but I did not. That 4th month, I got 3 listings, and then after that, it's just been, you know, listing after listing after that.
Yeah.
But just not giving up, and just, you know, not giving up, just keep going, don't stop.
I would say don't stop. Do as many open houses as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Learn how to pick up the phone, make phone calls. Expired listings are amazing. We have a lot of tools here at eXp that you can use to leverage your expired listings. You have to know how to do it. A lot of things are free, and you don't have to spend money. So, for instance, I don't use RedX, LandVoice, or any of those things. I use FMLS. I use Forewarn, which is free. I use DialSafe, which is free. And I utilize those things because why spend extra money when we have the resources here at eXp in order to use them for free. So make sure you're just making calls, stand in front of people, ask agents that you know that are doing really well in business, like, what is your secret? Can I sit down and talk to you for 30 minutes? Can you show me how to do something? Don't be afraid to ask, because people they'll share with you. And then also get your certifications here at eXp, because there are a lot of certifications like Revenos relocation where you get leads. So you don't have to go far in order to find stuff. Just ask it and it'll come to you.
Definitely, you know, the power is in, if you can't afford to get one-on-one coaching, to plug into a group where you can do it as a collective. Something that I find a lot of people do, period, whether it's real estate or not, is jump around. Like, we're jumping beans. You don't stay in it long enough to see any success. You know, like you were mentioning, 3 months. Just pick 2 or 3 things. One that you are very uncomfortable in, challenge yourself. 2 things that you are comfortable enough where you can be consistent at it. Do the 90-day rule. You know, plug in, create your, we have Chat GPT, whatever GPT that you're using. You know, sit down with technology. You can have conversations with it to see what makes sense for somebody just like you that has already done it. You can even let it know, hey, this is the real estate professional who I want to be just like in the area that I am in. So for me to successfully plug in, give me a 90-day plan. What is it? Okay, I don't like that one thing that you said do, so let's adjust it. Okay, let's go ahead and put some more time and energy into that. So your GPT is your assistant. We don't have to figure it out on our own. Make sure that we're using the technology available to us to be the best version of us. You know, making yourself do things that aren't giving you pleasure won't be pleasurable to you for long. So like I said, do one thing that's uncomfortable and two things that you know make you feel good. Use your GPT to help structure that. And of course, checking in on it, you know, what you measure, you can move it. You can see, okay, I didn't make enough calls for this. The CSU is letting you know. Sharon is like, oh my gosh, she showed me her CSU one day. I was like, your CSU pretty. But using the tools that we have available to us, like Michael shared, to make sure that we're successful and make those adjustments too, not jump around. If you're saying that I want to do open houses for 90 days, are you only looking for open houses in the community of people that you already have access to? Or are you going to MLS and saying, this is a neighborhood I want to farm, let me reach out to this agent and give them a call on Sunday or Monday, I see they have a coming soon, you know, and see if I can go ahead and take advantage of that.
That was great information. I will probably say that you are not doing everything that you could be doing. A little tough love. A lot of times we think that we are doing more than we are doing. But I will also tell them to get clear on how they are going to prospect and how they're going to generate leads. I talked to the people in my space about their 4 legs of their business, having 4 different ways to prospect. When I was an agent who, I'm in production right now, but when I was solely selling real estate, I was really big on door knocking. I made good money from door knocking. I like door knocking. I like being by myself. Door knocking, my sphere of influence. I worked the hell out of my sphere of influence. Not really big on cold calling, but social media paid me well. And open houses, I did open houses frequently. When you figure out the 4 legs of your business, you have to be very intentional with each one. Like she said, you can't say like open houses is a leg of my business, but you're doing 1 open house a month. If open houses is a leg of your business, you need to be doing like 8 open houses a month. If you say that you're going to work your sphere of influence, you need to be building out your sphere of influence and being intentional about that. So that's not keeping the same 50 people that you have or 100 people you have in your sphere of influence. You have to be intentional with making connections with your clients, meeting people while you're out and about. One of my biggest advocates is somebody I never sold a house to. She has sent me 5 or 6 referrals just because I treated her correctly and I leaned into my sphere of influence. So get clear on how you are going to prospect and then have professional goals. For me, when I'm prospecting, I don't say like I'm going to have 5 conversations or I'm going to make 20 phone calls. I want to prospect until I send somebody over to get pre-approved, or I'm going to prospect until I get a listing appointment, and that's how you get those results, by being like really intentional and holding yourself to that professional standard.
Nice. So work until it works, tap into your systems and find what works for you, your niche. All right, so we're going to do rapid fire. This is the end. What's one daily habit, quote, or system you live by, your non-negotiable?
Okay, so my non-negotiable, my daily habit is prospecting. So I'm going to do that everything first thing in the morning. But a quote that I live by is consistency compounds. So the seeds you plant today, they will harvest tomorrow.
I would say for me, my non-negotiable would be lead gen. I consistently do it every single day. I even do it on the weekends because the weekends are actually the best time to really do it. You're able to get in contact with people on the weekends. So I always lead gen every morning from 9 until 12, and then I do Saturdays from 10 until 2:30, and Sundays sometimes I'll do it from 1 until like 3 o'clock. I always make sure that I'm able to get in front of people in order to build my platform.
What does that look like for you?
Look
like?
Lead gen for me is calling expired listings, pre-foreclosures, and physicals.
So something very important to me that I do on a daily basis, of course, is connect to the higher power of God, sitting still, recharging to be able to plug in properly. I like fitness, is something that's very important to me as well, being able to release that energy as I build it up. I mean, music is, if you guys ever come to Smile Dial, like I'm on there dancing and moving and shaking, so don't stop till you get enough is going to be my quote as well. That look, Rihanna, work. So being around, people is very important. I know this one over here said that she don't need people.
No, I love people.
Okay. She door knocking.
Yeah, I used to door knock because
I'm
do
scared.
that time alone. You just be around people all the time.
I'm
Like,
not.
That's my little time. But no, I love them.
Yeah, but making sure that we're plugging in and the things that we're doing feels good to us. If we're always giving, then it doesn't make enough room for us to be able to recharge, energize, and be the best version of ourselves for ourselves, of course, but also be the resource for our clients.
That's funny. No, I love people. You can't be successful. I learned that. You can't be successful in real estate and not love people, but we do spend a lot of time with people and with our clients. That schedule. If I can give y'all any tidbit of information, get your schedule together. I read a book, the 12-week year, years ago, and I was doing really, really well in real estate. Had left my job. My husband took a job, and I'm following him around the country. So I'm jumping and running behind him. And I went from having, at the time I was making roughly about $15,000 a month. So I'm leaving and I'm following behind him, and the month, it finally hit me. It all came crumbling down. It was like coming from making $15,000 a month. I had a month where I made $2,700. And I don't know, my head was about to pop off. I didn't know what was going on. But I had a good girlfriend. She's actually a real estate agent based out of Miami. She told me, like, Future, I came across a book, the 12-week year. I read the 12-week year that month and started implementing the things. I came up with my 3 goals and started implementing everything I needed to do. And then next month I made $27,000. Yes, I made $27,000. I still pretty much handle my life like that in quarterly increments where I set big goals every quarter. My goal for this quarter was to grow out my team to 40. I had 22 agents, I'm at 38. So it really, really works. Get the book the 12-week year because it will help you with your scheduling. But the 12-week year. The 12-week year, yeah. Really, really good book. Book I read recently that kind of brought everything together was The Science of Scaling, so that's a good one as well. But just being intentional with your schedule is a game changer. A lot of times we feel like we're prospecting, but if you're intentional and you break your day down into 30-minute increments and set those timers, if you are not used to time blocking, set the timer so you can hold yourself accountable. You'll get to see how much work you are truly doing, and then you can start to make the corrections where you are weak.
All right, good stuff. So we're going to wrap up. First, I want to thank everyone for coming. It was like so many things you could choose, and you guys chose here. I hope you guys got some good value, some good gems. I see a lot of notes taken, so that's good. Our chair, Black EXP Network, is going to be in the general session next, so I encourage everyone to go there. She's going to be with One EXP, talking about what One EXP can do for you. So I encourage you to go there as well.
Latrice,
Any questions?
give a video on the whole stage for me.
Go ahead.
Regarding the VAs and the VAs versus a personal assistant in person, and also a VA out of the country, because I'm more of a Hispanic market, so I need a VA from Latin America. What should I look for in that interview for that VA out of the country? And is it better to have somebody in person also, or just keep a virtual assistant and have them roll the show?
If you it's based on what you are prepared to spend. So don't feel like you're not going to get what you are looking for. Just be specific on what you are looking for. So if you deal with, are a lot of your clients Hispanic speaking?
100%.
Look for a VA because they are all over. So it's not just like if they're from Nigeria, the Philippines. You may have somebody that is Spanish speaking. Just be specific about what you are looking for, the amount you want to spend. That's what I would do before I hired somebody in person, because you're going to save money, and then that will help you make more money, where then you can hire somebody in person if you need that person.
Can they all tell us, like,
Yes, I use Mojo to cold call. I use a dialer. I get my expired listings from there. My expired phone numbers from there. I use Real Scout. That handles my nurturing. So it does for buyers does like listings, sends listings to them, and for sellers does home valuations. And I use Follow Up Boss. Those are my top 3.
So for me, I use the MLS. I use Bold Trail, Forewarn, which is for skip tracing, Dial Save, which is also for skip tracing, and that's pretty much it. Everything I do is free for right now.
Yeah.
I use Follow Up Boss. Of course, I'm checking on my team and making sure that we are doing what we're supposed to be doing. We're a Zillow Flex team, so we have to lean into. I have to lean into Follow Up Boss heavy. So Follow Up Boss, my Google Calendar, because I keep talking to y'all about that calendar. That's really, really big for me. And Cecil, checking, making sure that people are hitting those dials, having those conversations.
So something that I recently set into action is at 5:30 in the morning, I have my GPT scour the news, and my goal is to attract more agents and figuring out what that message is going to be for the day. I get an email in the morning because the GPT has looked to see what are the best topics for me to share with my people, whether it's going to be on social media or if I am going to send it out in a newsletter. It gets a script together for me, of course, what the post is going to look like, sharing, after you go in and get the email, it's dumping it inside of my Google Drive as well, for me to be able to go and maximize it. I then, of course, it's a script for me, so then I'm using Big Voo with the teleprompter access, so I can go ahead and read the information and share it in the platforms that I'm putting it. I also dig into, we used to call it KV Core and Coffee, but now it's Bold Trail, but there's like a heartbeat in there, your vitals. You can go in there and look and see who you need to touch because they're waiting on you to do something. So sometimes I go in there and my vitals are like red and really ugly. So I know that I need to sit down and spend some more time. And I work with the GPTs and other aspects too. So I subscribe to Chat GPT and Perplexity.
You need to fire her.
Future said
No way
fire
around
her.
it. You need to fire her. And I'm gonna tell you something that I figured out. I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you go. You need to fire her. And somebody asked me a question about after you spend so much time with these VAs, we don't want to hold on. We need to be recording everything that we were teaching them. So you'll have a library. So when you fire her, it'll be easier for you to hire somebody else because you have that library of recordings that you can just pass on to your VA, and it'll make training the next person easier. But let her go today.
Yeah.
For accountability though, I use Trello, and so every day, she has her checklist of items to do, and she goes in there and puts completed or, continuing this tomorrow, whatever it is. Then I go in and look and see what she did, what she didn't do. So I use Trello for accountability, and then I use Scriptless, I believe it's called, to make SOPs. So what it does is you do the task on a computer, and it records it and puts it into a PDF. And so she has that for every task that she has to do. So when I have a new VA, I can just, here's the SOPs right here, and literally walks you through it. I believe it's called Scriptless.
And with the passwords, so how do you get around that? Because I know you mentioned
That's why I said fire her.
mixed calls and all that.
Because why do you got to keep changing your password?
Yeah, why
She's not doing.
Right. So she's
Something
not doing
shady
that
going
there.
on.
That's
So I use a Trello as well to kind of monitor what they're doing, but I also do 3 touch points through the week. We talk on Monday morning, Wednesday, and we talk on Friday. And I make sure we go through everything. So as they're going through as he's going through the task, he's marking it off, and it gives me a notification so that I know that it's done. But I've gotten to a point where I know that he's not going to put out anything that's not right. So I've kind of given him a little bit more flexibility. But if you just always want to make sure you're monitoring them, because again, if you don't monitor what they're doing, they're going to veer off and start doing things on their own. So just, again, setting up the SOPs, because you want an SOP for how do you create a list for expired listings, or all the different tasks that you want your VA to do. You need an SOP that outlines out how that's done, so that if they are to ever leave, you again can take that and take it over to somebody else.
Okay, so what about the password?
That was what was weird for me was the
Yeah.
password situation. She has the answer. I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I use a website called 1Password. It creates my password. Then I can give.
Get that website retrieved.
1Password.
Okay.
Somebody give her a microphone. Can't hear anything. So I tried a different one, but it might access. No, but there's
So I use something called 1Password, and it's great because one, it makes up my passwords, and they're like 19,000 characters long, and two, I can then decide what websites my VAs have access to. So like they have access to my credit card, they have access to my different accounts, my Facebook, my Instagram. They can get in everything, and when they're fired, I take them right out of 1Password. Then they
Sharon.
can't have access to anything, and I don't have to change anything.
Right.
And I think it's like $20 a month, maybe. It's not expensive. It's very, very inexpensive, and it's a great way to kind of organize that. And it houses everything. So like if I pass away, my kids can get in there as well. So all of my stuff that I don't want my VAs to have access to, I just don't give them access in their account to those accounts.
Is that a camera
Hello.
or a phone with different?
There's another
Okay.
one.
What
It's called
camera is it?
Passkey. No, it works. No, I have it. I've been using it for 5 years for my VA. Passkey. I've fired them multiple times. I've hired them multiple times. And once you're going to get rid of somebody, you just go in there and shut it down. And it's called Passkey. And you can also track them on Slack. There's a way to Slack somebody, even do videos. You just tell them, get on Slack, you press that video, and they're in the room. So it's like they're sitting right next to you and you're talking to somebody. That changed my life 5 years ago. I've been using Slack for my VAs. And then there's another website I'll find out from my VA to let you know that I can actually see everything that they're doing every minute of the day. So let me tell you, this works. I've been using a VA in the Philippines for the last 5 years, and they've been amazing.
All right, I wish we could stay here all day, but we're gonna wrap up. You guys have any questions? Just add them on your social and reach out to them.
And you can add me at your YOUR Realtor Future, like the past, the present, the future. So it's your Realtor Future, and I do free Zooms. I'm supposed to do them once a month. I try to do them once a month, but I do free Zooms. They are absolutely free. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm big on reciprocity, so giving so I can receive. So if you follow me, you'll see different zones. Your Realtor Future. So that's Instagram. Your Realtor Future on Instagram, and then you'll find all the rest of my social media handles on there.
I am Make Moves with Makeba everywhere except for X, but I don't really go to X. But everywhere else, I'm Make Moves with Makeba.
I am Michael Sells Luxury Real Estate on IG and Michael Nolan on Facebook and everything else.
Nicole Ellison Realtor on Instagram. So my name, Nicole Ellison Realtor, and also subscribe to me on YouTube, Nicole Ellison Realtor.
And you can find me at Ask Cortez Real Estate on Instagram. Type in my name, you'll find me anywhere. Latrice, you gonna get a picture of her?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.